Hi, my name is Dr. Rajiv Kumar Chauhan. I am going to discuss about the DC shunt generator and their application. So, the conditions for the self-excitation of a DC generator, the conditions of self-excitation or voltage buildup in a generator driven by a prime mover can only build up voltage if the machine or generator have some residual or magnetism in the field system. The field winding connection should be such that the residual flux is strengthened by the field current in the coil. If due to this no voltage is being built up, reverse the field terminal connections. It means if the present connections the no voltage is built up, it means the field current in the coil is not strengthening to the residual flux. Therefore, if we change the terminal of the field winding, the current direction will be reverse or the flux will be reverse. That will be helps to residual flux. Okay. In the series generator, the load resistance RL should be less than the critical resistance. In case of shunt generator, the field circuit resistance must be less than the critical field resistance and load resistance must be greater than the critical resistance. Self-excited DC generator, the field winding of a self-excited DC generator is excited by the current produced by the generator itself. Means the field winding has the direct electrical connection with the armature of the generator itself. There is no need of independent, as the field winding is excited by the generator itself. Therefore, no need of the independent DC source as we required it in the case of DC separately excited generators. Okay. In the self-excited DC generators, the field winding is excited by the generator itself. It means there is no need of the external DC source. The self-excited generators can be classified based upon the manner in which the field windings are connected to the armature windings. So, DC shunt generator, the field winding is connected in parallel with the armature winding as shown in figure. Therefore, we called it DC shunt generator. As shown here, the field winding is in parallel with the armature circuit. This is the armature circuit. Okay. So, from this circuit we can find out the various equations about the generator. First of all, we can see whatever the armature current is there, it is dividing at this node into two currents. One is ISH and second one is IL. So, just apply the Kirchhoff current law at this node. You will get that the IA is equals to IL plus ISH, because as per the Kirchhoff current law, the entering current at a node is equals to the sum of outgoing current. So, entering current is IA at this node, while the outgoing current is ISH and IL. Okay. As the terminal voltage V is across this terminal also, because there is no resistance in this branch. Okay. It means this V will appear across these two terminals. Okay. Or we can say the V is the applied voltage across the field winding. So, from here if we know the voltage, if we know the current, so as per Ohm's law we can find out the current. Okay. So, from here we can write down the expression that ISH is equals to, or the shunt field current is equals to V upon RSH. Now, we want to find out the value of the terminal voltage, because we don't know the terminal voltage, we know the induced EMF in the generator. We know the armature current and armature resistance. So, if we subtract the voltage drop in the armature, because this is the loop for it. Okay. So just apply the Kirchhoff voltage law. If we subtract the voltage drop in the armature and voltage drop in the brushes from the induced EMF, we will get the terminal voltage. Okay. Power developed in the armature is equals to Eg Ia. Power delivered to load is equals to V into IL. Now this is the connections of a DC shunt generator for the no load condition, or we can say we want to check the how the voltage will be built up inside the DC shunt generator. Okay. So the field winding or field coil F1 F2 along with the series external resistance RF is connected in parallel with the armature terminal A1 and A2 of the generator. Suppose there exists some residual field phi r. If the generator is driven at rated speed, a voltage is equals to Kn phi r to be induced. Okay. This is equals to, not proportional. Okay. K is there. So at constant speed, as we have considered the constant speed, it means E is proportional to phi. Okay. And phi is proportional to the field current. This small voltage will be directly applied across the field circuit, because the field circuit is connected in parallel with the armature as shown in the figure. Hence, a small field current IF1 flows producing additional flux. When the current will flow through the field winding, the flux will induce, and that flux is phi 1. This additional flux adds the existing residual flux phi r, total flux phi 1 plus phi r now become more and generating more voltage. As the flux will increase, the induced EMF will be, or the generating voltage will be increase, because we know that E is proportional to phi. So if we now the E to phi is equals to phi r plus phi 1. So as the flux is increase, the induced EMF or generated voltage is increased. Both the field windings, both the field current and armature generated voltage are cumulatively. So in this way, from here we can see that B is the residual voltage and A is the current, field current. Okay. So same, when the field current A will flow through the field winding, because of the residual flux, the next voltage will be at the C point. Similarly, this stairs will carry on up to the point M. So VI characteristics of the field circuit, which is a straight line passing through origin, and its slope represents the total field circuit resistance. The final stable operating point M will be the point of intersection between the open circuit characteristics and RF line of the generator. Let us consider the case one by one. At constant speed, if the field resistance is increased, the intersection point A, B and C of the OCC and RF shifts toward left. Rated voltage decrease. From here, this is the characteristics OCC and these are the RF line, mean the field resistance. We are just changing the value of field resistance and the OCC at N or rated speed. Okay. So as we, if this is the line, RF line, like for example some resistance is there, this is for example R1, for this is R2, for this is RF. Now we can see that as if I am from here, the R1 is less than R2 is less than RF. So from here we can see that as we are increasing the resistance, the generated voltage, the rated generated voltage is decreasing. Okay. Further, if we increase the resistance like this, if I am saying this is the R4, okay, the field resistance RF line which is tangential to the open circuit characteristics is called the critical field resistance. This one is called the critical field resistance line, RF, critical RF line. If the field circuit resistance is greater than the critical values, means if the R4 is greater than the RF, the generator will fail to excite and no voltage will be induced. The reason being no point of intersection is possible in this case. So in this case we can see there is no intersection point between the OCC line of the generator. Now next case is at constant field resistance. Now we have keep the field resistance constant. Suppose a shunt generator has built up voltage at a certain speed, K E is equals to K N phi. Now the phi is the field resistance is constant, it means phi is constant. So E is proportional to N. Okay. So if N2 is less than N1, then Eg2 will be less than Eg1 at RF is equals to constant. So we can see here that the OCC at the speed N1, OCC at the speed N2, this is the RF line. Okay, this is the OCC at critical speed. If the speed is further reduced from the N2 a certain critical speed NCR, the present field resistance RF line will become tangential to the OCC at NCR. For any speed below NCR, no voltage will build up is possible in a shunt generator. If N is less than NCR, no voltage will be built up. The application of DC shunt generator. They are used for general lighting. They are used to charge battery because they can made up to give constant output voltage. And we know that to charge the battery either we require the constant current or constant voltage. So therefore these generators, shunt generators are useful for battery charging. They are used for giving the excitation to the alternators. For the alternators, we also require the constant voltage supply to excite the alternator. They are also used for a small power supply such as portable generators. Thank you.